Hi, so I was going to make a Facebook post, but I decided to do a video instead. I had something pretty exciting happen for our little family today, so I just wanted to share it with you all. I get a knock at the door, and I think it's my grandpa. He's the only one who ever steps by, but it's the mailman, and he has a certified letter for me to sign. So immediately I sign it, I bring it inside. I'm like, okay, what the heck is this thing? So I open it up, and it is a court summons for some debt that Jesse and I didn't even know that we still had. Um, so I, to understand why, you have to understand our story. So for those of you who don't know, I was 17 years old when I got pregnant. The father was not ready to be a dad. And Jesse very quickly came into the picture and was just like immediately a dad to my son, our son, Caleb. And then I get pregnant with our daughter, Lacey. Shortly thereafter, we get married. So then now here I am, 19 years old, married, 2 kids. We just bought a house, and life seems pretty good. But what nobody seems to tell you is that when you've got 2 kids in diapers, they're expensive. Kids are super expensive, and especially when you're a kid, you're still yourself. Like, you're really not on your feet, even though as much as you like to think that you are. So we struggled. Not at first, but we had a few bumps along the way. I had run into some medical issues because of the time that Jesse had to take off to help me with that. He ended up getting laid off from his job. His paychecks got cut in half. I was in school at the time, so it turned into me having to take out a student loan just to pay our house payments. And then his paychecks would cover the utility bills, but so we were just robbing Peter to pay Paul. And the day that we had to go into Job and Family Services at the time, we had to get put on government assistance. I mean, and just watching Jesse cry, like, this was not something that we had planned for. It's not something that we wanted. But it was the only option for us to provide for our kids. And so we got on food stamps, we got government assistance, and we just got help. We got put on even state insurance. And there was times where our food stamps wouldn't even cover food, and we'd have to go to a food pantry. I mean, we were really just down and out. Like, I mean, we were down, and we had hit rock bottom. And so I was in school, and then I got, on and these bills, and I just really didn't want to be on any of this government help. So I got a waitressing job, and I got fired from that job because my babysitter backed out on me last minute, and I might not have been a no call, no show. I called in, but they told me, you don't show up, you don't have a job. And so I lost that job. And then I got a job at the hospital, and the pay that I was getting every week wasn't enough to pay the daycare. So I was stuck. So I ended up dropping out of school, only a couple quarters away from graduating as an RN. And I started bartending. It was the only job that I found where I didn't have to get a sitter because it matched Jesse's schedule. And that I could make some money to kind of help pull us out of debt. Well, fortunately, right about after I did this, he got his old job back. So, we were kind of looking up. And a couple months after all this happens, and we're finally thinking that we can pull ourselves out of debt, our house floods. A levee breaks. Literally all that water came into our house. We had Red Cross out helping us. But here's the kicker. We weren't in a flood zone. So because we weren't in a flood zone, we didn't have flood insurance. So literally our whole entire house was ruined. Um, at least the first level of our house. Our kids could literally swim in the living room. And, it was just really bad. So we decided that we would let the bank take the house back as a foreclosure, and we'd foreclose on the home. Um, because the flood literally depleted the value of our home completely. So we took a loss with that. And my husband thought, oh my gosh, okay, it's going to be a great idea. We'll move into your mom's house. We'll help her out with bills and, maybe save up a little bit of money. And then Jesse got another better job offer. So, for us, It Works didn't really pull us out of debt. We've just been climbing out, but I know what it's like to struggle. I know what it's like to sit there and to, be on government assistance and to feel like, is this it? Is this what, is this what my life's going to be like forever? And to really just feel that. And it's a horrible feeling. And to be a college dropout because you have to make money for your family. Otherwise, you're screwed. And so when I quit my bartending job to stay at home with Connor, like this was a really big scare. I mean, we were finally living in a place of our own. We were finally pulling ourselves, somewhat out of debt. I mean, that student loan payment of mine was always a struggle. But to quit my bartending job, it was like, oh no, we're going to fall back down in this hole again. Like we're just going to fall. Like it's just a matter of time. We're going to fall. And so It Works was introduced to me, and immediately, I thought I just got to give this a try. I have to be at home with my kids, like, but I'm the kind of person, I've got to work. I've got to have money. I've got to provide. So I decided to give It Works a try, and it was more than worth it. I was able to start paying off those dreaded student loan debt within just a couple months. And I was able to start, and that's something that I've been deferring and everything for years because it just wasn't within our budget to pay it. So then today, it's really exciting. So I get this in the mail, okay? Like, I get this thing in the mail, and immediately I'm like, oh my gosh. And it's $600, guys. Like, $600 and that we owe somebody that we didn't even realize that we owed, because that's just back then we had so much debt. It was hard to keep up with what we owed and who we owed and everything like that. It really was. It was tough. And so I get this in the mail and I'm like, oh my gosh, like we owe these people $600. So I call the attorney for this person, and I'm like, hey, I we owe them money. Like, I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to try to dispute it. And she was actually pretty impressed with that. I guess that's not very common, which I understand, because if I was still in that hole that I used to be in, I wouldn't have been making that phone call today. I would have been trying to do everything that I could. I would have been freaking out. I would have been crying. I would have been literally grabbing out every piece of baby clothes or anything like that, anything that I could sell, just so that we didn't get in trouble for this. And so I called today and I'm just like, okay, I want to pay it. And she's like, okay. And that was it. Like, that was it. Like, and it felt so good just to be able to sit there and get a bill like this and to just be able to pay it. I mean, just to sit there and be like, okay, there you go. And then I called Jesse. I didn't call him beforehand. I didn't tell him I was going to pay this bill or anything like that. I called him and I go, all right, babe, look, got this bill in the mail. And, and I told him the bad news, and he's like, oh, shit. Excuse my language. But he was like, really? And I was like, yeah, but don't worry about it. I got you. I got it covered. And that was a really, really, really good feeling. And so I'm telling you guys right now, like, if you're finding yourself in that situation, like, I understand. I understand that struggle. And I'm just, you don't have to live like that. Like, this is the first really big thing that It Works has done for our family, aside from, you know, like really helping with pay Christmas, with helping pay off our student loan bills. But this right here, like, it was kind of neat for my past to come back, like that time that we were really just in the hole, and just to come back at us and go, okay, you know, but it didn't let it ruin my day because, you know, It Works was here and I was able to sit there and um, do that all from working from home, all from helping an incredible team of people that are underneath me and helping all the customers that we help. Um, so, I mean, really, like, I had to share that. If you are looking for a similar opportunity, I promise you it is worth at least investing in yourself to see if this is something that is for you. It really truly is. Like, what company pays out? I mean, we don't, we get paid bonuses and everything like that. Like, it's not all just about the products that you sell and everything like that. You know, this company is truly about giving back. Um, you know, the company gives back and you're giving back to people and you're, you know, helping people and you're being helped. And I mean, it's an incredible thing. Um, and it's most and certainly credible when you get something like this in the mail. Um, and you just think, like, if this was just a year ago, I'd be bawling my eyes out. I mean, I would have, even with bartending, like, I would have been picking up shifts left and right. Like, okay, like, I got to get this paid. But I didn't have to do that. And I'm just saying that, you know, like, this company is just like any other job. Like, you put it, what you put in is what you're going to make. But the possibilities are completely endless. You know, you decide your own time. You decide what you work. You decide what you put in. Um, and it really pays off in the end. So, ending the video, but bye.